Well, we're now joined by the president of the Pan-African Congress of Azania, the PAC leader, Mzwanele Nyhontso. Thanks so much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program. Congratulations on your re-election.
Thank you, Peter, and thanks for having me.
All right, so you were re-elected with the other top six, unopposed. What does that tell us?
It tells us that there is stability in the PAC. It tells us that there is growth in the PAC. It tells us that members of the PAC wanted continuity. And it also tells us that the members of the PAC were happy with what we've been doing in the past 3 years.
So what was your message to the delegates at the conference and to the party members in general across the country?
My message was that let's make PAC great again and fight for the land restoration in our lifetime. And we were very clear with them that we need to go out there and make sure that the message of the PAC resonates with the African people, with people out there, because it doesn't help to have a party with good and beautiful policies, and yet masses there do not even understand what to say. So we're very clear that we must make our message very simple for our people to understand, so that this party can grow and be an important political player in Azania.
All right, the elections are just one part of the conference. Were you happy with the outcomes generally and what you were able to achieve? Very
happy, because one of the resolutions that I was very happy with was the resolution that let us increase the tempo on gender-based violence. Remember, we also have this conference in August during the month of the Women's Month, and a lot of women are being raped and killed every day in this country. So we're saying as the party, we must also play our part, make sure that we protect women, increase the tempo, and make sure that if we see things that point to the direction of being abusive, let us also come and help, because our women are us and we are our women.
Wow.
And also the health, because we are saying we want to discourage and condemn the West for always associating all the diseases with Africa. Because now there was COVID. In fact, they created COVID, but COVID was affecting mostly us Africans. And now they're talking about monkeypox, and they are saying it's coming from Africa. Anyway, they always think we look like monkeys. That's why they call that disease monkeypox. They know it's our disease according to them. So we want to encourage our people to disassociate themselves with the West and Western culture.
All right, I have to ask about the scuffles at the beginning. We heard in that clip there that it's normal. What is your take? Should we read anything into the scenes that we saw?
No, it's up to you. But in all the congresses, people will always be, there will be unhappy people. In all the congresses and conferences, you would not know, from across the political spectrum, people would want to be part of the conference, even if they've not registered. I'm not sure whether when circulars are issued, because circulars are issued, for example, ours was issued in February, and people would not register until the closing date. I'm not sure whether it's the excitement towards the date of the conference. Then they would think that, no, we have a right to go there. We are also members of this party. That's where you will have scuffles. Of course, we can't allow that. Nobody can allow it. So it was just a small scuffle. I did not even see it.
Yeah.
I saw it on TV.
So unity has been an issue for a number of parties, not just the PAC, but I wonder, what is the state of the party? We've just heard a delegate there talking about the other camp, bringing them inside the party. What did he mean? Explain that to us.
I think he meant that, remember, there were other people who were contesting. He meant that if you have won, you must extend an olive branch to the losing side. And I can also maybe say he also meant that we must extend the olive branch to everyone who is disgruntled with whatever reason, and to come back home. Remember, the unity is key in the PAC. In fact, our first aim is to rally and unite African people under the banner of the African nationalism. So he is right by saying we must unite with everyone who are all members of the same organization.
There are no camps in your party?
There were. I cannot deny that. There were camps, and that is why we're always stressing and insisting that it is important that we must unite. It is important that we must focus on issues that we agree on. And then it is also important that we must know that the party is bigger than all of us. We will always have camps, but it will depend on how we manage those contradictions.
Let's talk about the future and what your hopes are. Again, in that clip, you felt that you're going to do well in the 2024 elections. Why are you so optimistic? What is it that you are presenting that's going to resonate?
It is because it is very simple for us to take our message to our people. We have done that already. Here at SABC, on the eve of elections last year, I said we are going to do better because we had taken our message to the Africans out there, and for the first time we performed. 23 councillors from 11, and we registered 5 minutes before the closing time. We did not even have time to campaign. And now we're saying, with what we have, we're going to build from here. And then we're going to have better numbers in 2024. We must achieve it.
Where are the numbers coming from? I wonder if, people my age, we have this romantic memory of the PAC during the struggle, the Robert Sobukwes of this world. Is the new generation of young people understanding of that history and resonating with it? Is that where your growth is coming from?
Definitely. That is why we have PASMA, the most revolutionary student movement in Azania. And this student movement, which is a component structure of the PAC, is in charge of many universities in the country. And they are preaching the message of the PAC, which means young people understand PAC, young people understand Sobukwe, young people understand Pan-Africanism, they understand Kwame Nkrumah, they understand what our forefathers meant when they said we must build this ship of freedom, PAC. So yes, we have young people, even in this executive, there's a lot of young people that are elected there.
Pan-Africanism, what does that mean in terms of immigration? Because that's a hot topic now in the country.
It is a hot topic. It is a hot topic in our country because our country does not have laws on how to regulate immigrants. Anyway, the problem in our country is that those who are in the country are hypocrites, those who are in charge. For them to be a foreigner, you must be a black man. How many illegal white people in this country? How many illegal thugs, drug lords, were in this country from Serbia, Yugoslavia, Italy, all over the world? But black people, black Africans from Zimbabwe, from Tanzania, from Ethiopia, we call them foreigners. So that's the problem, but it remains true that Pan-Africanism is the answer for our problems. It remains true that Pan-Africanism is the only ideology that will liberate Africa. Because as long as we have this thing called South Africa, Zimbabwe, and so on, we are still going to have problems. There is one country, and that country is Africa.
So what is your policy? Is it free movement of Africans across the continent?
Yes, definitely.
No borders, no passports?
In fact, our policy is that we must have one government, one president, one currency, one army, one passport, and there must be one country. And all these things, we can call them states or it doesn't matter, provinces. These things called South Africa and so on. It's just that African leaders are greedy. They don't want the unity and the unification of Africa because they will lose their jobs, they will lose their bodyguards, they will lose their black cars, they will lose blue lamps, because that's what seems to be the priority of our leaders. That's what we fought for, blue lamps for the leaders.
In that story that we ran, you spoke about coalition politics going forward being a norm, and so you're preparing yourself for that and getting the numbers. What sort of conversations are you having with other political parties at this stage? Were there other parties at your conference?
Yes, definitely. In fact, we have a resolution from this conference that we must work with political parties. And there were parties. EFF was there, delivering a message of support. SAF to Comrade Zwelinzima Mavavi was there. EFF was represented by Faita Ndlozi, Azapo by its president, Nelvis Kagema. UDM was there. So we're having these conversations that we need to talk and then put our differences aside and think about African people. Africans are suffering. And as long as we are groups out there who are arrogant, thinking that we are bigger, we are better than everyone, we don't unite, we're still going to suffer. African people will still suffer. So we are having these conversations, and I'm sure we are going to have a strong left organization one day that will challenge the powers that be, that keep on oppressing our people.
All right, the powers that be. Does that mean that you're not having many conversations with the ANC?
I never had conversations with the ANC. If there are powers that be, I'm not even sure if there are powers that be, because I see that they are in charge, but white people are in charge of this country. So I'm not even sure if in fact, I know that they are not in charge of this country. That's why they could not even address the land question when they had two-thirds majority. Well, when President Thabo Mbeki was the president, he had two-thirds majority. He did not use it. Imagine giving PAC two-thirds majority. I'm telling you, the land would be in our hands today. Now I'm not sure what they can do now if they are losing percentages in every elections that are going down. So I don't think they are in charge of the country. If they are in charge of the country, they are cowards. They can't address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is the land issue, is the mines, is the reserve bank, is everything that white people own, is the farms, is the space, is everything. They can't touch it. They are scared. So if they were in charge, they were going to touch that one, because they were formed to address the land question. They were not formed to give us food parcels. No.
All right, and perhaps the final question, how many seats do you think you'll get in the next election?
Well, no, we don't want to be ambitious and sound ridiculous, but we are gunning at 10 seats and we are going to achieve it. All 2 years is enough for us.
So that'll be a jump from 1 to 10.
Definitely. That's what you do. If you train, you can jump from 1 to 20, it depends. And if you are unfit, you can't jump.
PAC President Nyhontso, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Peter.
All right, that's where we'll leave that conversation for the time being. The newly elected president of the Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania, confident that the party is growing and will show up at the next election and do much better.